What is up, guys? It's your girl Rivah, and I am back again with another video. If you're new here, my name is Rivah, and I'm here to give you guys my reaction to this video. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Guys, first of all, I have to say, okay, before I even get into this portion of the video, you know, I watched this interview. It was absolutely incredible. Okay, from the beginning to end, it was an incredible interview with Angie Martinez and Lauren London. And I have to say that, for somebody like Lauren London to even be able to come out and speak about this entire conversation, I think it was very impactful, but I also think that it can help a lot of people who are suffering through grief. But I'm going to press play because I have a lot that I want to share with you guys based off of this conversation, but I want to just jump right into the video so that we can get to it. If you have no idea who Lauren London is, maybe live under a rock. Okay, she's an actress. She's been in various movies. ATL, Baggage Claim. The list can go on and on. She was in the show The Game, and she was in a relationship with late rapper Nipsey Hussle, who unfortunately was taken away, too soon. And she also has a child with him. So if you don't know, that's the backstory. We're just going to go ahead and just jump into the video so you guys can see the portion of the conversation that I wanted to just share my perspective on.
Where are you? If you don't want to answer this or you don't like the question, we throw it away.
What?
But where are you with love?
Oh, this doesn't bother me because here's the thing. I have another perspective on relationships, and you don't want to have that conversation with me.
Okay.
I think a lot of them are ego-driven, and they're not pure.
I believe that too.
So why would I take myself in this vulnerable state into my ego, and I'm trying to get out of it? I'm in death of the ego space.
First of all, there's a long portion of the interview where she's just asking her various questions of like how she's gotten over grief, like how she's dealt with, certain situations. And then, just I feel like there's been a question in a lot of people's minds is like, will she ever find love again? Will she ever get into a relationship again? Just based off of, the situation, because it's not like he passed away when they were not together. They were in a committed relationship at the time. So I guess Angie Martinez was just trying to find out, like, did she feel like it was a duty for her to have to stay that way? Or if she is curious of finding love or finding relationships. But when she said this comment, when she said that she's, trying to basically kill her ego, like she's in pursuit of the death of her ego. In all of the conversations that I have about relationships, that is the number one thing that I have been trying to, stand here and say to women over and over again. It does not serve you. An ego in a relationship does not serve you. It does nothing. You know what it does? All it does is it disrupts and steals the time that you can be enjoying with your spouse based off of your emotions and your feelings that are fleeting. They're fleeting, and it only comes based off of your ego. Oh, because why he looking at her? Why does he think another woman is beautiful? I should be the most beautiful. Ego. Who he talking to? Who he texting? Why he being so friendly with the cashier? Ego. Oh, he's staying out with his boys. Why he don't come in at this time of night? Because I don't see why he should be. Ego. Ego. You have a good man. Loving man. Considerate man. A man that you can trust when you go to sleep at night. A man that has your best interests at heart. And you put your ego in front of your relationship. And more times than not, it doesn't mean that your reality is going to be necessarily Lauren's reality. But a lot of you guys lose a relationship and lay up in the bed at night with your ego, not with the man, not with that other person. You rob yourself of the opportunity of real love, real connection because of why? Your ego. Your ego.
Why do I need another? Why? Does that make my life complete? I'll never get married. Does that mean I'm not on purpose?
I need you to explain.
I'm gonna get a lot of slack for this one because I have a whole thing about it.
No, I need to know.
Okay.
I mean, that's not a small thing to drop. Like,
Okay.
because relationships are hard as fuck.
Absolutely.
Right? And so
mine was
it was
very hard. Hell yeah.
because we make it like a fantasy in our heads. Like,
No.
you guys had the perfect relationship. You were on the horse.
Listen,
we saw you on the horse.
We had pure love.
But that's the thing. A lot of women, whenever they hear about, couples or celebrities and they see them in magazines and stuff, they put their own imagination to work. They put their own Disney Channel, Lifetime movies to work and create a scenario. And that's why they put their regular man that they're in a relationship with under so much stress, because they feel like it's not like this, not realizing what the people actually going through. Women always over fantasize about their own relationships and about other people's relationships. That's the difference between a woman's mind and a man's mind.
We have pure love, but that does not mean that we were not human and our egos did not get attached in aspects of our relationship. But we definitely have pure love.
But you had enough intention to probably like dissect or break down.
Always.
Okay.
Good intention.
But break that down for people.
Yes.
About relationships and ego, and because some people probably don't even think about that.
No, and I didn't think about it until I wasn't in relationship anymore because of the death, right? A lot of times, not all the time, we are in such of in our ego that we are in possession of another person. We're not.
Talk that talk, Lauren. Talk that talk, Lauren.
Experiencing them. We're not totally loving them and letting them be free. We think we're supposed to be together forever. And that's not a spiritual relationship. Spiritual relationship is without the ego. It is we are together. I bring you up, inspire you, you inspire me. Now, if there ever comes a point where I'm not inspired anymore and that now I'm in my ego, now I feel I need to possess you, now I feel the need to control you and you're mine, I'm in my ego. And that's not love. There's love in there, but now I'm operating more in my ego and not in my pure love. And I can say this because I operated from these spaces before.
I was going to ask you.
Yeah, absolutely. You mine.
Yeah.
And can't nobody, you know what I mean? But that, nobody is yours unless the agreement is that we're going to experience Earth a little bit longer than some. Right? I just don't feel the need to participate in my ego and someone else in theirs anymore.
Before we take a step further, that touched me so much because you know why? She's speaking from her heart. Like, you can feel her genuine, like, she's being truthful about what she's saying. She's being honest about it. And a lot of women miss this mark. I love you so much. But you don't love the fact that he likes to chill with his friends. You don't love the fact that he, does these things or does those things. That means that you don't love this person. You love you love your version of this person. And how can you have a beautiful, positive, flourishing relationship if you can't love that person for who they genuinely are? Women love to say, take me as I am. Take me as I am. You better, love me for me because I'm not changing for nobody. But then they want that man to bend and change and break and change into the mold of the person that they want to be in a relationship with. That's not love. As she said, that's control. That's you just exuding your power. Marking your territory. Let that man own you up. Let that man tell you, I love you and this is you're my girl. You're my woman. Let him be the one to say that you and him are, whatever it is. Stop trying to rush the brush and run to the finish line and have him in a headlock on the way there. Stop doing that. Love him. Love him. One of the reasons why I generally wanted to talk about this, and we might have to have a whole long conversation about this later on, is because, when the news broke about Nipsey, I remember every night before I went to bed, and every morning when I woke up, I prayed for her. Genuinely. Because they had just done their GQ, the questions, the quiz. They had just been, at the Grammy party, they had just been so open with their relationship. And I couldn't fathom, because as everybody was mourning the loss of a rapper, a mogul, a businessman, she was mourning the loss of her child's father, her love, her spouse. And I couldn't fathom what that felt like. So I said, man, like, everybody was on the internet like, I hope she's okay, we send love to her. And I felt like it made a lot of women in relationships hug their man a little tighter, treat them a little bit differently, because they understood the fact that, wow, like, all these things that we argue about don't even make sense. We're arguing over frivolous things, but I love you and I'm enjoying spending time with you, and I should be focused on that instead. That's what it really was. But now we've seen on social media how women have taken a drastic turn back. Way, way back. Oh, I don't need no man. I don't need you. Da, da, da. Oh, you ain't this. You ain't that. Talking back down to their man. How quickly they forget. So I love the fact that she came and had this conversation just as a reminder in the midst of all this modern woman, city girl chaos and drama. Just a reminder.
And I've experienced pure love. I am not without pure love. I might not ever be married, but I experience pure love. And that's with
You
Nip.
experience it now.
With Nip.
Oh.
I got that.
I love that some people never experience in a lifetime because of their egos. Right? Because of them putting themselves, selfishly first. Because of them not even, getting the opportunity to experience somebody else in that way.
See that on earth.
Woo.
I don't need to do that again. I like to feel enlightenment with God. Now, like I said, I don't know when I'm 50, 60, 70. Mm-hmm. But 37,
I'm good.
Mm-hmm. I'm good. I don't want it.
So how did you get that with Nip? How did you put ego aside?
I didn't get to do it when Nip was here.
Oh.
I didn't get to do it when he was here. I was very much in my control. I love you so much. I want to just hold on to you forever. Mm. Then life happened. Then it's like you can't hold on forever. No. Then I had to learn how to have the spiritual relationship. Then I had to dig deep into myself. But I wasn't always so in my fear of losing him. Because that's another thing. We get in our fear of losing this relationship, this connection, what our life looked like together. That then we just hold on to it so tight, it ends up slipping out anyway. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like I said, I lost myself in a lot of aspects of my relationship, but it didn't. I didn't start like that. It was very pure, good intention. We loved each other, right? Yeah. And we loved each other till the end of time. But I was still human, and I didn't learn that part of myself yet. I didn't know I had that possession and like, oh, I love you so much, please don't leave.
That's a good reminder for people to just check themselves.
It's really hard to learn.
And can you because you can do that now in retrospect, but can you do that in actual real life? Not you, but I don't know, right?
And I don't want to know. See my point? I'm cool. Like, I don't even know if I want to practice that.
And this is the point, right? It's not an easy task. Nobody said that. A lot of women have been programmed to be jealous, to be overly jealous, to, oh, my man this, my man that. Like, a lot of women have that mindset just because of, like, societal, norms and movies and TVs and, like, reality shows and, like, everything around you is telling you that that's how you're supposed to behave. So it doesn't mean that it's going to be easy to break that. But is it essential? Yes. Because that's the next step. That's genuinely love in its purest form. Those are the people who make it to be, 60, 70 years married together. Those are the things. Those are the people who experience joy within their marriage, love within their marriages, happiness within their marriages that withstand the test of time because of that pure love. ego to the back. And again, it doesn't mean that you're going to be perfect. It doesn't mean that, it's not going to have its ups and downs and you're still not going to have problems. You are, but that ego got to go. Humility is so key, especially with somebody that you're sharing love with, especially that. And one thing I wanted to say, because I know they're going to go to a different part of this conversation as well, is that a lot of women are going to give her flack for this, or may have already, because they can't fathom her being alone. They can't fathom the fact that she was committed to this one man and she no longer wants to be with anybody else after that. They can't fathom that. Because a lot of women so loosey-goosey, they just ready to jump on and jump again. They can't fathom the art of her just being like, I'm going to raise my kids. I'm going to focus on my children. I'm going to teach them the way that they should go. And maybe when they're older, who knows? But for now, I have a duty. And I'm going to put them first. I'm just going to be the best mother I can be and then the best person I can be. A lot of people can't fathom that. Because if it was them, they would have ran into the arms of somebody else so quick. Because of the way how their loyalty is set up.
Hard. It's really hard. You know what I mean? And I think, I do believe in love. And I think love is beautiful. And like I said, I experience pure love on earth. For real. I can right hand of God. I loved him with every inch of his soul. And I believe he did the same. I just, I think moving forward on earth for me is about God, me and my kids, making them stable. What am I supposed to do here? You know what I mean? How deep am I to go here? I just want to do that.
I think that's fascinating for people to look at and think about in their own relationship, because we all do that, right?
It's natural.
You probably even do it to some extent. I don't know if you do because you had this experience and enlightened, but we probably even do that with our kids. For
sure. I'm like, wait, where are you going? You know what I mean?
Right.
They're gonna go yeah, of course, but and I think that it's harder to not be like that with your kids, because you start off as a micromanager and then that changes to just then
trust me, I know mine's in college.
See?
I'm like a consultant now.
Yeah, you're a consultant. Ooh, Lord. See, I ain't reached that point yet.
It's tough.
See, and now and then you're trying to throw me in relationship. I ain't have time for that. I got to deal with these damn kids. I'm already stressed out. I'm like, no, don't go to...
I love that notion, though, because most people operate from two emotions, and it's either love or fear. So all the other things that happen, it's usually can fall under one of those.
It's disguising as.
So when you talk about ego and all that, a lot of that is fear, right?
All fear.
So I love my man so much, I don't want anything to happen to him. I don't want him. So I'm gonna keep him right here. It's because it's fear,
total fear.
Yeah, or am I good enough? Or am I?
In the competition aspect of it all. I'm out that game. I'm so happy I'm out that game.
You out that game? That's not a fun game.
Done. Done. God bless it, though.
Well,
I just need to be like a nun somewhere.
Yeah, I'm not really. I mean, I respect you. And I understand your decision. I really do. And I think you're in a beautiful place. And I want you to stay in a beautiful place. And stay healthy and safe. But I don't know. As somebody who really genuinely just likes you and connects with you.
Yeah.
I think at least you should just be open to whatever God puts in your path at some point. But that has nothing to do with you.
That's just that.
That's just me. That has nothing to do with you.
I think people, and it makes people afraid to hear me say that, because then they have to, not saying you, but then it's like, wait, can people really exist by themselves?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They kind of
and have the full
It disrupts fantasy. It disrupts this notion that we have to be in these strong relationship
units.
Yeah. And here's the truth. If my situation didn't end via death, I'd still be in it deep. You know what I mean? Not even having this notion of this. And maybe if I did, it would have came in another lesson. It just came in this one.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think people keep missing, she's still in a relationship. He passed away, yes. He's not here in the physical, yes. But because that relationship never ended, it's going to be hard for her to even move on to somebody else. So I don't understand why people would even want to try to push her to be in another relationship, because she's always going to be thinking about the person who she was in a relationship with. You know, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I think that is a part of healing for yourself. You know, and whatever it is that's going to keep you sane. I think that's the bigger issue. Because you have some women who are going to see this interview and see, yeah, that's why I don't need no man. That's why I could be by myself. It's not the same thing. You don't want to be with no man. You're going to be by yourself because you're ego-driven. You're egotistical. You're selfish. You don't want to change. You don't want to bend to anybody else's liking. You just all about you. You can't be with nobody else. You don't know how to operate with somebody else. Her situation is completely different. They were in a full-fledged, committed relationship at the time. There was no breakup. There was no heartbreak. There was no end. So how can you look at that person and expect them to move forward? It takes, if that were to even happen, it would take a lot of time. Especially because she's raising his child. Like, come on, guys. We have to be more realistic with this. But again, a lot of people don't understand because, like she said, it messes up the fantasy of what people think. But guys, this interview, if you like this reaction, listen. This interview was amazing. It's incredible. It's going to be in the description box below. I encourage everybody to watch it. If you know who he is, know who she is, heard about the situation, I would encourage anybody to watch it, especially if you're going through grief or have gone through grief. I think it's an amazing interview. It covered so many different aspects. Make sure you guys, of course, hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. And I will see you guys in the next video. Love you guys.